Hi, everybody. It's Amalia, founder of S.T.E.M Braids and Beyond and host of the Silver Bullet podcast. Today, I have a great friend I'd like to introduce to my audience. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Dexter Carr Jr. I am the CEO and founder of a company called Game for Good based here out of Baltimore.
Okay, great. So, what does a day in your life look like as a CEO and in your previous job in S.T.E.M?
Well, a great comparison between the two is that the major difference is that I could play video games and it's actually for work. But a lot of it is more so on a subject matter where previously my formal degrees are in healthcare. So I was working with hospitals, working with healthcare professionals on the professional side, whereas this I'm more so working with uh, gaming in the gaming industry, gaming community, and more so the different ways and integrations of that. So from esports or competitive gaming to even just how video games are used for more experience type of opportunities. So it's not just about entertainment, but how to increase the experience and value that our competitors and gamers engage in.
Got it. So, um, healthcare to gaming is quite a career leap. How did you make that transition?
Well, I mean, I've always been a lifelong gamer, so it's not like it was a random pivot. It was one of those things where it was a conversation that my original co-founder, who he and I had a long time ago, about creating kind of like a barn arena type situation to recreate the couch playing experience of having your friends come over that was before Wi-Fi and truly online gaming was a thing. And this is while I was working after I got my master's at Penn State. I was just kind of going through that and making that on like the back end. And we had a pitch competition and end of 2019. We got second place, and once we saw the true uh we saw the demand after that, we saw the support, and we realized that we stumbled onto something and just kind of took it from there.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. So, what was your childhood dream job?
I could be a pediatrician. Be a
Oh,
pediatrician. I was definitely on that route. I was inspired. My youngest brother was, very sick. He contracted the retrovirus when he was not long after he was born, and just kind of going to hospitals, seeing how he, kind of survived that. I wanted to make that difference by impacting youth as much as I can from that space, giving them another chance to, grow and make a difference as they get older. I felt like, the biggest difference that can be made is by impacting the youth, not trying to change the minds of adults. And I had the idea from very young, and so just kind of kept with that.
so that's interesting. Were you involved in any STEM activities as a child?
Actually, I was.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if you've heard of this, but when I was in elementary school, I was a part of this group. I was, I will not say a group, but I did this program called Destination Imagination. And it's this competitive uh, thing where each school has a couple teams and they compete problem solving with math and science, engineering, all that stuff. And it was, I had to explain it. It was a really cool experience. I mean, back then I didn't take it too seriously, but like just being able to experience that, it was a lot of fun actually. And I wish I would have taken it a little more seriously back then, but I definitely would have done it now because I really I like that type of thing.
Got it. So, you said you wish you would have taken it more seriously. What career path do you think that experience would have taken you to?
Um, well, by that time, I had made my decision already to go to pursue medical field. So I was already interested in the sciences. So I'll tell you one thing, me pivoting from being solely science to business, that was a pivot because for me, I was used to you know, physics, chemistry, biochem, just like just thinking in that mindset and not being in a chem lab, but being in or being in a physics lab, but being, you know, in more of a office setting. That was a change for me.
Got it. So I want you to go a little bit deeper in that because a lot of times in the underrepresented community, the kids may be gifted, but they're not shaped for any particular role. What do you wish you had known sooner, either about pursuing STEM as a career or even gaming as a CEO? What do you wish you knew? If you had to say something to your younger self, what would that be?
Uh, well, I would say that a, a career in gaming doesn't just mean playing video games.
Okay.
There's different facets of industries within an industry that need support. You
Mhm.
know, the front facing of a particular space. You know, every industry needs lawyers, they need some sort of medical professionals, they need marketers, they need no com sci data analysts. There's many different ways to combine your interests and passions into some of these more larger money making careers. And I definitely don't believe that we're kind of taught that, especially black and brown individuals are really taught that growing up. And a lot of the times we're taught and told that our career paths mainly usually end up in some sort of entrepreneurship, in terms of like hustling or selling or entertainment.
Right.
As you see, entertainment is uh, definitely the entertainment space is definitely um, so that is dominated by black and brown individuals in all assets. So you look at acting has grown more so. You look at comedy, you look at sports. You know, you look at, you know, a lot of the creative spaces is it's really dominated by minorities, black and brown individuals, and we don't really see ourselves, or we was told to imagine ourselves in these other spaces. And so that's really one of the things I would keep hold to be more imaginative of where your passion can lead you.
Okay, got it. So, the two things I love about what you said about the entertainment space being dominant with Black and Brown people. I believe one of the reasons is because those industries have done a really good job at explaining the opportunities that are there and they improve opportunities for accessibility. Something I think the STEM, that's just my personal pet peeve, the STEM education space has not truly done because even like you did a STEM program in when you were in elementary or middle school, and from that you didn't have a direct connection to what that job could be. And even in the sciences, was there anybody who took you along that path to help you make that a reality?
Well, I was lucky in a way. I was an individual. I tested into uh, something called the TAG program, Talented and Gifted program. And so I would be in, even though I would go to no specific schools, but like I would be grouped up with the uh, more uh, how they call it, you know, intellectually inclined individuals. I was separated from the rest of the school population, and the rest of the school population that weren't in tag. No, they were seen as just like the normal kids or whatnot. And I mean, I'm happy I was in those programs, and some of these things were kind of like demonstrated and revealed to me. And for me, I was a person that I pursued what I wanted.
Mm,
So I didn't just wait for someone to give me an option. If I wanted something, I will learn about it and find ways to kind of, you know, get what I wanted in some way, shape, or form. But I would say that my story is a little bit uh lucked out and fortunate just because of the fact that because I was set up in that space and being able to be put in with a population of individuals that had access to, like, a lot of my friends, their parents were, working at NASA or, working in these, big firms or whatnot. um I mean, my parents didn't have that background, but I had the access, and I took, the most advantage of it, and really I made those connections. But it was one of those things where not everybody has that opportunity, especially people look like me, especially individuals who don't get the chance to demonstrate that they can really thrive in those spaces.
I think you bring up a great point because one of the things through my work I realize is that there's STEM generalists and STEM specialists. The kids who are STEM generalists are kids who are tagged for gifted, which means they excel in all things sciences.
Mhm.
For other kids, they may specialize in one particular subject. And instead of those kids being developed in that one STEM subject, they're
Mhm.
just tossed in with general population. And something you said is that being in tag gave you access you would not have ordinarily had. So tell me a little bit about your family dynamic, your parents, what did they do?
Yeah, so no, my mom,
They're
she
immigrants. They're immigrants, so go ahead and tell
yeah,
me.
yeah, both my parents are both no, immigrants. They're both citizens. My mom got her citizenship late, no, yeah, late last year. So
Hmm.
she finally got that in America.
Yeah.
Um, but no, my dad, no, blue collar guy, worked in no, the newspaper industry, then working with the bread company. My mom, and both of them aren't didn't know don't have college degrees. But my mom, she now is, learned accounting, by trade. She's currently going to school to be able to get that more formalized, but that's something she just did, and kind of learned how to do. And I was just lucky that, I had opportunity that they've encouraged my pursuit for, education in that manner. But no, they were very humble individuals, and they worked hard to allow me the opportunity to grow and explore. And I think it's definitely one thing that I would say separates myself from the average Black American male, just Black American in general, is that I was taught growing up that in America, the only thing I have against me is that I'm Black. But other than that, nothing I cannot do. And I see that's very different from some of my other Black American brethren who they hear that and they're taught up saying, because you're Black American, you can only go so far.
Right.
Where for me, it's more so like, well, the way I could put it is, for me, all I know is that I just play life on hard mode. But other than that, it's something I can't do. Whereas everybody else, they have that Black mindset as like, no, you can only reach a cap of level 25, and that's as high as we could go. I'm like, no, you could go higher. You got to work hard, but you could go higher. But you stop here because you only think this is how high you go. And so it's just one of those things that I'm happy that I was able to be taught and not be limited by that mindset.
What you said like literally gave me chills because, like you said, you can go as high as you want. It's like gaming, and to me, might have be the reason why a subconscious reason you did that is because in gaming you can go as high as you want to. It's more competitive. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing limiting you. Nobody says that you can't be level 100 because you're Black. It's as
Mm-hmm.
high as you have the ability to go. Right? What do you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to pull out something from your story because I didn't realize that your mom was going to school. I see her in hearing your story as a missed opportunity in STEM. What
Mm-hmm.
is your mom's age group?
Yeah. So she recently turned
No,
57.
not her age group. Tell
Uh,
us her group.
the group in terms of like
Like
what?
20 to 25. Like
Oh,
right.
well, I mean, okay, she's in her late 50s.
I
I mean, late
want
50s.
you to get in trouble with your mom.
Yeah.
I can tell him my business in the streets.
It's whatever.
Your mom, you said she picked up accounting naturally. To me, that's an example of a missed opportunity in STEM because maybe she might have been a fit for accounting when she was younger. Do you think?
She always liked business.
And
So
numbers.
she, yeah, and numbers. Been she's like it's like a good puzzle for her, and so it's something that she would have gotten into earlier.
Mm,
Um, and it's just one of those things where she didn't have the opportunity then, but she has the opportunity now, and so she's
yeah,
definitely taking it.
beautiful. So my last question for you is, what does STEM mean to you? And if you could go ahead and tell everybody how to get in touch with you and anything you have coming up.
Yeah, definitely. STEM to me is more than just the the obvious career paths of a mathematician or an engineer, which first and foremost, when people say engineer, I always ask them what kind, because there's more than one type of engineer, and people just say engineer, they don't know they don't know what they're talking about. Um, it's just there's so much more than just that, and it's like a segment outside of just entertainment, and especially for black and brown individuals, especially black individuals, like you don't need to entertain people just to make a career and a living.
Absolutely.
Like even though yes, sadly historically that's what we were relegated to, entertaining the masses. It's like no, we have a lot more opportunities to contribute to society and just making people smile and laugh.
Absolutely.
We have so many skills. A lot of important things that were created in this country were created by Black individuals, and we need to be able to really better showcase that and our ability to not only create but also to lead.
Yes.
STEM is opportunity for us to be able to continue that creativity, but in something other than just entertainment, something that can be more not as intuitive, but more growing for the current culture where we are right now.
Mm,
That's for me what STEM really does mean to me is that opportunity to expand into a space that we haven't been allowed to before in the past.
beautiful.
And I mean, I'm available on LinkedIn, Dexter Carr Jr. MHA. Definitely visit our website, ghavenesports.com. Our company focuses on creating solutions that demonstrate the value of gaming beyond just entertainment. And if you're in the Maryland area, we have two really cool events coming up. We have our Robotics and STEM Festival, Robots and Esports and Robotics Festival coming up in October in Baltimore, where we basically going to have a triathlon of robotics and esports games that help connect the bridge between robotics and video gaming. And then in November, we're going to have our Esports and STEM Festival in collaboration with the Maryland STEM Festival, and the focus is going to be gaming in the classroom, looking at how video gaming can be integrated into school systems to help enhance the K through 12 experience. So, interested with that, please know registration will be coming up, opening in September. Looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, guys.